Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. It's time for us to do yet another trash talk with a little bit of a declutter. So I'll go ahead and put timestamps down below and I'll try my best to organize this in a proper fashion. But we'll go ahead and start with wax items. The first thing that I have is this candle from DW Home. It's the green cardamom, which is from the Noir collection. It's number 3. I was very drawn to this candle. I love the packaging. I just think it's really sleek and I like the green glass. And when I smelled it, it was just like a nice, unique candle. It definitely was more of like a summertime candle. When I picked this up in the start of last fall, I saved it intentionally for the end of summer. And it was just so terrible. It was a 2-wick, and as you guys can see here, it really didn't burn that great. It had absolutely 0 scent. The wicks just weren't strong enough to really produce much of a wax pool, so it never got to a full scent. I burned it down just because I'm the kind of person who always will burn these candles to the ground, even if they're not great, because I'll just pair it with a wax melt. I like to look at the flame. So even though this was a super showstopper candle for me, the performance was really meh, and I have found that I feel like the DW candles have become much more hit and miss than I feel like they were when I first started burning them. So I am definitely much more selective about what kind of candles I'll get, and I'm kind of at the point now where I only will really buy the 3 wicks because I've never had really a performance issue with them. The other wax melt that I had was the Glade wax melts in the spring collection Splash Out, which is blackberry and spring showers. These were super old, and I have shown you guys one of these before where I had felt like maybe the wax was too old, that it had lost its scent. Totally not the case with my new wax melter from Bath & Body Works. I put this in and it was like, oh, I was transported back to when I had first got these. The scent on here was awesome. I definitely was using them out of season because I really was afraid to keep these for another year. Wait again for next summer, and I really enjoyed them. I don't think they've made this scent since it came out, but if they did, I probably would pick up one of them and not binge buy them like I did last time. I also used up this blueberry cobbler. I don't know where this was from. It came in one of my wax de-stashes that I bought. This was the best blueberry scent. It was so it was so good. It was such a nice authentic blueberry, but the cobbler scent, it had a definitely scent of a pie note in it. I really liked it. It didn't have the longest scent life, but when it was going and it had a really strong scent throw, it filled my entire room. I really enjoyed this. I wish I knew where it came from because I probably would buy more of it. I also used Nancy's Wax Creations Mulled Cider. Oh man, this was such it was such a layered and diverse scent. When I first thought, I was like, oh, it's a cider scent. That's pretty generic and basic. I'm sure I'll like it. And it was so much more than that. Again, it didn't last forever, but for the 8 to 10 hours that I had it melting for, I just really enjoyed how rich it was and how it really seemed to have so many different layers to it. So I definitely would consider buying more of this once I got very aggressively through a lot of the wax that I have. All right, moving on to hair care. I have the Pantene Air Spray. This is a level 2 hold and it's alcohol free. I really don't use hairsprays unless I put my hair in a bun and I have some flyaways to take care of. This was fine. I typically only have hairspray that I got in subscription boxes. Would I seek this out and buy it? I don't know, not really. I'm just not someone who really cares a lot about hairspray or uses it often enough to have much of an opinion. I also have the Pantene Pro V 3-Minute Miracle Repair and Protect Deep Conditioner. I was using this like a hair mask, but I really don't think it was sufficient as a hair mask. To me, it really reads more as a conditioner. So if you're someone who has really dry hair, this could be a really good conditioner for you. I love the scent of this, but I would not go out and buy any more of this. I had 2 of these, and I can't remember if this is my second one or if this was my first one, but if I have another one in the closet, I'll use it, but I won't go out and get any more of it. I also have the Ouai shampoo and conditioner sample. This really didn't do much for me. The scent wasn't all that memorable, and the product, again, being a single use, I couldn't decide if I wanted to go out and spend this high amount of money on a shampoo and conditioner. We have a couple of nail items. I have these French manicures with a little bit of a silver strip on the accent nail that I used up, and then I have these really pretty fall ones that I got a second use out of. I've never understood how this packaging was attached to this type of nails, But these are officially on the Impress website, so if you do want to pick these up, they are the same price as what they would be at CVS or Walgreens. I have considered making a purchase, but there aren't enough nails on there that I want to buy. But once there are a few more new ones, I'll probably pick up another one of these because I have never seen these in stores since I first got them. All right, moving on to skin and body care. First I have is the So Vintage Foaming Sugar Scrub from Fortune Cookie Soap. This stuff was lovely. I really like the foaming. I'm not sure why, but I really like the foaming nature of this. I definitely feel like if there's a scent that I like in an upcoming collection and they make it in the foaming sugar scrub, I'll probably pick one up, even though I do not need exfoliators. I just very much enjoy the texture of this stuff. I also have the Lather Exfoliating Body Soap Tell sample that Ben picked up in his little hoard that I'm trying to work through alongside with him. I would not call this an exfoliating soap. It basically is just like soap with some oats in it, and it has zero exfoliating property. So I definitely don't recommend this if you're someone who actually wants to exfoliate and not just have like a nice smelling soap. We have a few more of these, so we'll keep working through them, but it's just not that great. I have the Hydra Beauty Micro Serum from Chanel. Nothing particularly special or noteworthy, but it was nice to get in a magazine. I have an exfoliating body soap from Fortune Cookie Soap. This was like a body conditioner. I really didn't like it. I am not someone who likes soaps with oil in them where it leaves like a texture or any kind of residue on your skin. I just didn't like this. I like the scent of it a lot. It was from the Beauty and the Beast line, and it was like a rose scent. It was very, very pretty, but I didn't realize it had those oils in it, or I would never have bought it. So I forced myself to use it, but I just don't like feeling that residue, especially because it didn't absorb into my skin. I don't mind. I can like get by if it will absorb, but it would be like the next day and I would still feel oily, and I just don't like that. The last skincare thing we have is the Seventh Heaven Dead Sea Rescue Mud Mask. This is for men. Ben used this. We had our engagement photos yesterday, which is why you see me here in Maine. We had to come up to Maine for them. And all throughout the week, he had like an acne breakout. And I can totally sympathize with guys because unlike girls where we can kind of cover it up or at least like conceal it a little bit, guys don't really have that option. Yes, they can wear makeup, but like Ben is not going to wear makeup. So all throughout the week, he was like, oh, can I like put one of those masks on? Like, can we have a mask for my skincare to help clear it up for our photos? It was really cute that he actually cared. And I had entered us into a contest over the summer for Seventh Heaven. I'll insert the picture that I put in the contest for us. And we won some masks and they sent us one. So he liked it. It did help clear up his skin. The only thing he didn't like was it hardened on his face and it took him a long time to wash it off, but it really sucked out a lot of the oil and nastiness that he had in his pores and his skin did look better. So I'm definitely gonna maybe buy another one of these for him when he has one of his outbreaks and has like a little hissy fit about it. All right, now we're on to makeup. I've got some makeup that I used up and some makeup that I am decluttering. I seem to have like gone through a lot of mascaras. I'm getting to that point now where I have not opened a new mascara to use in a really long time, and it's been helpful in the sense that I'm actually getting through products, whereas before I would just sort of like constantly open a new mascara and then I would have all these ones left. So I did not finish these all in 1 month because I opened them all in 1 month. But the first thing I have is the Tarte Lifted mascara. This was in a brown color. I did like this. The wand on here doesn't look like anything particularly special, but I did like the effect on my lashes, and I'm glad that I got through a brown mascara. I used to only wear brown mascara and brown eyeliner when I was in high school, but then I kind of evolved and wanted to use like more mainstream makeup, and I got into black. But I definitely didn't hate having a brown mascara with black liner. You couldn't really tell. So I think I might use brown on a more regular basis. We'll see. I also used the Mega Plush Deep Velvets Volume Express from Maybelline. This was a blue mascara that I got at Walgreens for like 50 cents. And I was using this as like an initial first coat layer, but I really wasn't a fan of it. I didn't think it was anything special, so I wouldn't go out and buy this whether it was in blue, black, or brown. It just wasn't great. Then there's the Bobbi Brown Eye Opening Mascara. This I'm just decluttering. The wand on here is massive, and I really don't like wands that are this big. I just don't feel like you can really effectively and efficiently put product on. It just kind of glops everywhere, and I'm not a fan of that. The last mascara that I used up is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. I don't know if I have one more of these or if this was the last one, but I, on a 21 Days of Beauty a few years ago, bought a bunch of these because I was obsessed. This is similar to the lifted wand where it has like a really nice effect on my lashes. I definitely would rebuy this again, but probably not for a while because I had so many tubes of it. I think I bought 3 in total. So I've kind of like gotten over this mascara after so many tubes of it. I also have the e.l.f. Daily Brush Cleaner. When am I not going through this stuff? This stuff is awesome. It definitely cleans my brushes really effectively and quickly every day after I use them. I also deep clean them once a week. And then the last thing I have is this really sad looking chapstick. This was the, I believe it was the avocado or the papaya, I don't know which one it was, but this was an incredibly emollient and moisturizing lip balm. I think this was one of the best ones I've ever had from the chapstick line. It was almost like too thick on my lips, but I liked that because it lasted for a really long time. It didn't just like fade away into nothingness. So I did like it. I'm glad it's used up. I kind of have gone through a phase where I like managed to work through a bunch all at once, and now I'm pulling out brand new ones. And I'm kind of just like, oh man, like it takes me a long time, I feel like, to use a chapstick, but this was my car chapstick, so I'm at least glad it got used up. All right, I've got 3 brushes that I am saying goodbye to. They are all Morphe brushes. It's the Morphe M501. It's just too big. I don't really do anything with it. The M332, I, again, don't have much use for it. It's kind of a scratchy brush. And then the M505, it's just, like, I don't really have eyes that can accommodate this size brush, so I'm just gonna go ahead and throw all 3 of them away. I also have this Equate sponge. It accidentally like got near my hair straightener, so it has a little bit of a dent in here. This is just too hard. Like it's too hard. It kind of sloshed foundation around my face, but didn't actually like pat it in the way a beauty blender does. So it's just no good. Stay away from the Equate little like trio of sponges because it looks like a good deal, but they are terrible sponges. I also have the Wet n Wild Geometric Highlighting Powder. I've kind of been heavily scrutinizing my highlighters lately, and I feel like I'm constantly just like, I don't like this highlighter. I don't like this highlighter. It doesn't do much for me. This one, I feel like when you look at it as a swatch, you're like, oh wow, that's so impactful. But when you actually talk about putting it on your face, it just doesn't really build up. You have to really dig your finger in here and like swirl it around a bunch to get this look on your finger. And when you put it on your hand, it just doesn't have much of an impact. So when you put it on your face with like a brush, it doesn't really pick up a lot of powder and it doesn't really last on my face. And I don't have a particularly oily face. So I just don't really think this is all that great. So I'm getting rid of it because I just have no use for it. I also have the Stila All Over Shimmer Liquid Luminizer. This was like a precursor to the full-on like liquid highlighter trend. And I really liked this when I first got it. I don't know why, to be honest, but I really did enjoy it. I had 2 of them for a while. And it just doesn't really do much on my face. Like, it's not really shimmery like a highlight, and it doesn't really blend properly. Like I was noticing that I put it on like my cheekbones and I would blend it in, and it would basically like remove any foundation that was here, and I'd have like a strip of exposed skin on both sides of my face, which kind of just looks stupid. So I'm just gonna go ahead and give this up. I did once use it, but I have since no longer found a need for it. I think that highlighters have evolved in a way now that this seems really inferior because it's just not as good as what's out there. It can't withhold the competition against it. All right, guys, those are all of the things that I have used up or finally just called it quits on. I would love to hear from you to know what you guys have been doing lately, and I will talk to you in the next video real soon. Bye.